Thomas here and welcome back to another video. So today I'm back here for another speed edit, and today we're going to go ahead and do a speed edit of the thumbnail for yesterday's video, which was the Stonemere estate build. So I'm actually recording this on the day this goes up, like the actual speed build video is going up in a few hours from when I recorded this, and then this should be going up the day after that build goes up, hopefully. So this should be going up on the 12th of February, I don't know, but you know, everything always changes for me, so I don't know if that's going to be true or not. So I have done 3 of these yet. I think there's only been 1 speed edit up so far though, which was of my Gilland Manor build, which I did last Sunday. So what I've been doing recently is been trying to do these kind of huge big mansion builds every Sunday with facecam normally as well, at least for half of the video, because I know some people don't really like facecam on speed builds because it can be a little bit distracting. So what I normally do is for half of the video I do facecam, and then for the other half I just do the voiceover. Anyway, so I have been doing that, and this is the second speed edit of a build I've done. I've also done a creator sim speed edit as well of this sim, and I don't know when that's going up. I'm just going to kind of find time for that to go up on, so it should be maybe next week or the week after, something like that. So that's the first creator sim one I've done, but this is the second build one I've done. So, you know, I am very new to kind of editing in Photoshop in this much detail. I normally do very quick sort of edits for my thumbnails, kind of just, you know, just in the brightness, the contrast, the saturation, the sharpness, and just basic things like that. But doing kind of this sort of detail is something I haven't really done before. But I also have done these sort of edits for a couple of my other newer, like, recent builds as well. So you may have noticed in some of my thumbnails looking a little bit more edited. So for example, try to think, the collab I did with Spring Sims the other day of the Roomies household in Oasis Spring, that one was a little bit more edited. Let's see, my tiny Tudor home as well, that was another one. So I have been doing these, but I feel like for the main big mansion builds on Sundays, I like to do a speed edit video for that as well. So I don't know, just let me know what you think about this, because like I said, I'm not very experienced with this, so you know, just any feedback could be really, really helpful. So this build, if you want to know a little bit more about it, I'll put a little card on screen now, and that'll tell you some details about this build, including the lot size, how much it was, over 1 million simoleons, which I don't think I've done before for a build. I don't think I've ever went over that threshold before, so yeah, it's pretty crazy. And also 20 bathrooms and 12 bedrooms, which again is a lot. But this home does have 3 stories, and it is pretty big, as you can see. So I'm really happy with this build, and I'll leave a link down below to the speed build. And remember, I sometimes forget to do this, but I'll put a card on screen as well if you want to go ahead and jump over to that after you've watched this video, if you want to go ahead and see the speed build process. So I'm really happy with the landscaping on this build as well. I mean, I talk more about kind of the speed build stuff in that video, but in particular the landscaping is something I'm really liking in this build. Kind of just went really crazy on it, as you can probably tell. And I know Spring Sims is Mr. Plan Crazy, but I think I'm Mr. Plan... can't speak. What a mess. I think I'm Mr. Plan Crazy 2.0 at this point, because this landscaping is pretty extra. But you know, I think it just looks really great, and I really wanted the landscaping to be pretty kind of extravagant and over the top, because this build is kind of like that as well, you know, especially from the outside. So I kind of wanted the landscaping to kind of go with that theme. And I feel like for a very grand build like this, you would sort of, you know, see this type of landscaping. So I was massively inspired by my friend Hatsi for this build. And I've talked about that in the actual speed build as well. But I kind of just, I can't remember which build it was, but it was something that she created a long time ago. And I kind of just used that as like a basic inspiration for the kind of structure, because I wasn't really too sure where to go in terms of how I should start this. But then once I kind of get the basic structure done, I kind of just do my own take on it. And that's what I did for this build. So my kind of speed editing process is kind of very simple, I would say. It's just a lot of going back and forwards on different types of the build and doing overlays. So you'll see how I'll do overlays for the trims and the roof trims and things like that, and then I go through and do another overlay for all of the wall coverings. So I did an overlay for, well, I basically kind of like covered over, I can't really explain it, with the brush tool. So I did that for the stone, and then I changed it to an overlay, and I did the same for that yellowish sort of toning stone as well. I do that for that. I do it for the landscape, and I do it for the grass. I do it for the trees, and then do it for the background trees. I do it for the sky. So it's kind of just going back and forwards, all the different types of what makes up the speed build, or this screenshot, I guess you could say, and kind of just do overlays like that. And that's basically the process I go for. And also I do this with my mouse. Like I don't have a graphics tablet or anything at the minute, but I actually have been talking to a company about like a possible sponsorship sort of thing about a graphics tablet, which I'm not going to mention anymore because we're kind of just been talking about it very like we haven't really went into much detail with it yet. But you know, I don't know if that's going to happen, but you know, you'll see. But I think, you know, a graphics tablet would be really, really great for this sort of stuff, because you know, it is a lot of tedious work, I would say, doing all these kind of very small edits and things like that in all these different areas, having to go back and change brush sizes to get into the nitty-gritty areas and stuff like that. So you know, I feel like I will need one of those at some point if I'm going to do these a little bit more frequently, and it'll just make my life a little bit easier, I think. So let me know if you have kind of any requests of other kind of speed edits I should do, maybe not necessarily of a build, but any kind of creative themes, and I'll do a speed edit of that. That'd be really, really helpful, because these are a lot of fun, I think, and it is something a little bit different, because, you know, at the minute on my channel I basically just do speed builds nearly every single video I do, which isn't a bad thing, because I feel like you and myself really, really love speed builds, and it's kind of like the thing that everybody loves the most in terms of all the content I've ever done on my channel is speed builds. So that's something I've just been kind of focusing a lot more on, and you know, doing speed builds every day can be a little bit tiring sometimes, because you know, if I had other content to balance it out, then maybe I'll do a lot more smaller builds. But because speed builds are the only thing that I do, I kind of have to make every single speed build unique, and everything about it, you know, very upscale and very extravagant, like like these sort of builds that I'm doing. So I do these kind of mansion builds aiming for like every Sunday. So I can't, you know, if I'm a speed builder like channel, then I can't really do starter homes for every single build, you know. So I do have to kind of, you know, just expand and do a lot more bigger builds, I think, to kind of, you know, keep things interesting. And it's not, you know, really a bad thing about that. I actually kind of like doing that, because it also really expands my building skills. And I feel like recently I've done, well, to be honest, I do speed build nearly every single day, I think. Might not be, you know, a video going up every single day, but I do at least something to do with building, I would say, in the game nearly every day. So, you know, I feel like I've really kind of expanded my building skills recently about that, and I'm really, really happy with how, you know, my builds are looking recently, and just developing different styles, trying new themes, and just kind of expanding everything. And yeah, so we're just working on the sky here, as you can see. Basically, I just use the eyedropper tool to kind of get the blue colour, and then sometimes I make it a little bit lighter, sometimes I make it a little bit darker, and then I kind of just get the brush tool, just a very basic brush. I think I just used I can't really think of the size, but I think the hardness was like very minimal or no hardness at all. And then I kind of just brush through it and then change the layer style to an overlay, and that's pretty much how I do things. And then at the end I go through and just kind of overall change the brightness and contrast and the vibrance and saturation, things like that at the very end, just to kind of make everything stand out, you know, fully, and to get things how I want it to be. So I really hope you enjoyed today's speed edit. If you did, please make sure you leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't. If you haven't seen the speed build video yet, then make sure you go ahead and check that out. I'll leave a link down below, as well as the gallery download link. Sometimes it doesn't work, so I'll try and do that. If not, my origin ID is RealThomasTV1, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!